Soon. By the way, okay, let's talk about all the partnership ongoing later.
Oh, never mind, boss. I'm not gonna show this.
Oh, just make it smaller. Make the screen smaller, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
do it. That's
Zoom
way
in.
better.
Yeah. Zoom in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's a way to solve a responsiveness, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not responsive, but when you design, this is a problem with like junior front end, right? They don't really think too much about responsibility or
You gotta you
scaling.
gotta do mobile first.
Yeah. Well, that is the advice. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's how I learned it. But yeah.
we're live. By the way, we're live. So
Cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another rendition of Demo Time. What is today's demo? What's the number, Lewis?
supposed to be 17, but I put the wrong number, I think. Actually, no, it is the right number on the posting. The title is wrong though. Let's just rename it back to yeah, demo. Okay.
Dang. So that means we've been doing this for 17 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I think there are more, but I think yeah, 17 weeks.
That's awesome.
So what
Yeah.
about that? What was that like? About 4 months, right?
Yeah.
Or 4 months
Yeah.
and one.
4 months and 1 week, right? And yeah.
Yep.
Dang, super cool! Congratulations. I feel like we should have probably celebrated last week because it was 4 months. But hey, let's celebrate every 4 months and 1 week from now on.
That's fun.
Yeah,
Maybe 4 months and two, but okay.
yeah. So maybe like every single time we do 4 months and 2, 4 months and 3, 4 months and 4. Eventually, we yeah. Anyway, hello viewers. Welcome to another rendition. I already said that. And in this one, we're going to be demoing some fancy stuff. And first, let's go into, Lewis, let's go into kind of like the new landing page and what that's
Nice.
going to look like. And then we'll look at like the releases on the Plasma framework and then talk about other stuff too.
Nice.
Cool. So here is a sneak preview to all of the cool kids watching. This is very rough draft of kind of what the new landing page will look like. So let me just put the old one up just for comparison.
Screen too small.
Yeah. What's the size here? 250?
First world problem.
Exactly. So this is the old one. And one of the things that we want to do is we introduce a new color scheme. So that just makes the colors look a little bit more well balanced. And we're actually using the Radix color scheme, which is awesome. Super highly recommend to anyone that's like looking for a new like color palette. It's really good because they have a light and dark mode. We're likely not going to use the dark mode for our landing page, but the colors still look really nice. But if you want to use dark mode, that's definitely a good color system to use. And one of the cool things about it as well is they have like JavaScript objects available right away, so you can just start using it really quickly. But yeah, basically we kind of, here's what the browser platform publisher looks like. And likely we will change up the copy a bunch, but that's kind of what we have so far. And then Lewis, if you could mute, I think there's some background noise. Cool. Yeah, and okay, so this is the Plasma CLI section. So we will also likely like make this better, but that's how it is for now. But what I'm really excited about is these orbs. So our designer Marcus is like super awesome, and he created these 3D kind of orbs. But this is his first version, and this is the second one, and the second one looks awesome. And it's sort of like peeling back kind of this like sort of layer. So in the beginning, it's like the layer is fully in there, and then it's like peeling it back, and then it exposes the entire layer, and it's like awesome. So really excited about that. We'll change up like the spacings and stuff, but That's how it is for now. And then the other thing that we kind of got feedback on is, thinking about like we wrote this before like Plasma framework was like as it is now, and we've evolved as like both a team and also as a company. So we have a bunch more like kind of explanation of stuff, and talking about this new product that we've sort of soft launched in beta called Testbed. So we kind of highlighted that, and then talking about BPP here, which is basically the same. And then we kind of have the same section of what do developers say about the solution. This is still being worked on at the moment, but we kind of have that there. And then finally, pricing using the color scheme provided. Got to fix up obviously the spacing and stuff like that, but the general like foundation of things is there. And then you got like this. So basically, this is where we got to this point, and then now we just need to like fix this up. But I really, really, really love what so like one of the things that Lewis did actually, which was awesome, is like if you guys see here, it looks like the links are glowing. That is so cool. And like I've been thinking about how to like add that to more of our things to like make things glow and radiate. So that's potentially something else that you guys will see in the future. But yeah, that's kind of what the new landing page looks like in a nutshell. And yeah, I would say probably we'll get this launched either end of this week or early next week. So this is a sneak peek for everyone. Cool. So Lewis, do you want to maybe go through like we'll go through like the release notes and see what's changed? Oh, you're muted.
So I think not much change in the last release. We have the German README translation that we added into the versioning. So I think we announced the German translation last week, but we actually did not releasing it in the version. We also have there's actually a bug in the MV2 generator, and so that was fixed in 1.42. It's a minor bug that we had to fix within our packager. It's a silly little bug where I was doing a manifest.version instead of manifest.manifest version. But that's the only thing that was that caused the issue of it didn't actually the MV2 always is just always kind of false there. Yeah.
Well, I guess it would work in the instance where manifest version was 2. So.
Well, really, because manifest version is supposed to be a string, right?
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't work at all.
It wouldn't work anyway. Yeah.
Okay, that's why you need to use double equals, not triple, Lewis.
Well, no, it's triple. It's always triple.
But if you use double equals, right, 2 would match on.
Oh, I see. Technically, I wonder. Try it. Can you try it?
Yeah, let's try it.
I wonder. Yeah, I actually wonder that. Can you try it?
Okay. I'm gonna increase the font like a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot see, by the way. Can you move it up? Yeah.
So let's have like manifest equals.
No. Just do this. Just remove everything. Do quotation. Yeah. Oh, it is. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Like,
it will probably work.
Obviously, it's not a good idea to do this, right? In most cases, but in this case, it would at least do it for like 1%, right? That's cool. Yeah. So we fixed that bug, and by the way, there was someone that reported this bug, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Reported by. It's by Vantins and Bennett. Yeah.
Yeah. Bennett's been killing it. So they had the German README and also reported this bug. So awesome. Thanks for all the help, Bennett. That's awesome.
Yes.
Cool. So the other thing that we're doing is we're kind of introducing voting, right? We kind of have this view that, obviously like we're sort of building the framework out and we're the kind of core contributors, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people using this and also like contributing. So we want everyone's input. So there's cases where we might like, I don't know, either like disagree or like not have like too strong opinions on stuff. So we want to have some sort of like a mechanism where the community can actually decide like where the framework should go for certain things. So in this case, a user, SunUI, posted that we have this like dynamic import that imports from the Google APIs like font, and they claim that the framework should be completely static and should not access network resources. This is likely because Google is like banned in China, right? So yeah,
a lot of users have the problem, especially Chinese users.
exactly, yeah. So they're basically requesting that we shouldn't do this, right? That we should actually bundle font locally and then use that instead rather than dynamically fetch it from Google. So yeah, Louis, if you want to talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, actually, no, it's not bundle though. We do have a method of bundling font, right? But this is actually one of our templates. So basically, in our HTML template for the pops up and option and whatnot, we include by default the inter font that we use internally, because internally we make a bunch of extension internally and we use this font almost everywhere. Even on our landing page too, inter is basically the font that we use on almost our typeface system. So that's why it's convenient for us, right? Because we make the framework for ourselves, right? And we open source for the community. But the purposes of the framework, like the core purpose, is actually to serve ourselves too. Not, we are not just like freelance dev, right? We make tooling for ourselves to make our own life better. So that's why we have these stuff here, because it's for us. But if it's so much of a bother that the community just voted up, right? Then sure, we remove it, because at the end of the day, right? If it serves the bigger purposes, then I just go back to my project and add that line manually in my thing, no problem. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, basically that's why these things exist, right? So, upvoted up. So like, anyone watching, if you have strong opinions about this and like want this to exist, upvote it. Otherwise, and then Louis, would you say they should like upvote this comment, right?
Yep, they should upvote the top comment, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then don't like, if you want to like, yeah, you can do whatever, but I would say just upvote. If you don't agree with this, like, could you downvote? I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
See, if you downvote, at least maybe like say why, right? Like we want to get like people's opinions on stuff, and also if you upvote, obviously, you can say why as well. But generally,
should we add like a tag for this called pooling maybe?
Yeah, sure. We can have like a label, right?
Yeah, pool label. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Can you add that?
Yeah, let me do that.
Just edit and add label. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Colors hard.
Still use it, right? No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we do this one.
Yeah, that's good. Nice.
Wait, did it create it or what?
Yeah. Oh, it should add it automatically. Usually.
Yeah. Let me refresh. Maybe it did. I don't want to create you.
All right. Pooling. Yeah, here you go. All right then.
Awesome. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah. So I think.
So there's some other discussion. I think so. If you look at the issue now, we have added a couple of new issue. So we added the 147 initializing Plasma project from an existing extension. That is going to be some interesting upcoming work we are doing to converting existing. This is for VS Code. So this one.
Yeah, you're talking about that. You're talking about this one, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the making a Plasma project from an existing project. So if you have an MV2 project, right, and you want to transition into Plasma, right, I think that's actually a very straight path to move to Plasma if you are using an MV2 project and also using React or Svelte or Vue, and you want to move to Plasma. I think that's a very clear way to there's a way to actually have a code model, some kind of guideline, and also even a converter to convert your manifest file into the package.json file that we're using for our extension for the Plasmo project. So it should be a very simple kind of way to help people transitioning and migrating to Plasmo with like very low overhead, and then they can see, and then they simply importing their component, right? Importing their pop-up and content script whatever into the new Plasmo framework, and then we can then, if they use any API that's new in MV3, we might be able to guide them with a blog post, something like that. So I'm thinking I imagine this feature would be they have a project, right? They run this command on the project. We would do some git commit and git commit everything, and then we make a new commit with everything with the new Plasmo manifest, Plasmo package.json, right? And we have a table of every single thing they should be doing to migrating the existing kind of code into the new Plasmo project, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, something like having like to-do comments or something, right?
Precisely.
Change this, change that, and then they just do it, right?
Yeah, it's either to-do or like a console log table, right? It's a table that we log into the console, and they can just follow the steps.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's kind of we're thinking to have like in our roadmap. And then the other thing, Louis, was like the VS Code extension, right?
Yeah. So when I was working on my extension, I was thinking about kind of the kind of what is extension and what browser am I using the most? It's actually VS Code. I'm using VS Code way more than I'm using Chrome, but essentially internally they are Chromium based software. I mean, not too much anymore in the case of VS. It is still Chromium based. So why can't we build? And I found that a lot of extension does deal with editing stuff. And also suggestion of content, right? Tend to only provide for the web, but not for. It's not very easily make it for the VS Code side of thing. So it would be very awesome if there's a way to share logic right between VS Code extension and Chrome extension. So why not? I think Plasma can definitely supporting the VS Code extension kind of way to, for example, if you building, for example, like Grammarly can now just extend their capability to supporting like on Chrome and also on VS Code.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of parallels too, right?
I think there's some parallels. So not a lot of parallel, though, right? It's unlikely there's no DOM mounting. You have to invoke VS Code internal API to make an UI and so on, right? So there's a lot of like, it's not like just playing with DOM. You have to call API, but I think having the same place, having them all in the same kind of project would make a lot of sense for people to now providing like extension to VS Code from if they already have like a Chrome extension, I think. Or at least in my case,
same tooling and all that, right?
Precisely, yeah. At least in my case, right, I just want to share the same logic, but scaffolding and so on, an entire new project is a pain in the ass. So if like this is something that I want Plasma to have, so that my extension can now extend, can now offering a new capability in VS Code. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Cool. So that's another piece of our roadmap. And then the other really interesting thing is like with Wasm Zig. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So recently we saw Zig just announced like one of their kind of a major release, right? It's basically Zig is become very, very somewhat mature now. It's 0.9. I think 1.0 is on the way for the next year. So, and I played around with Zig. It looks very simple, and I think the design of the language seems less insane compared to Rust. Rust is very strict. I mean, not strict, but like Rust. Rust has too many chefs. I think that the cool thing about Zig is that if you look at the ecosystem and the core designer, they seem very lean, and that's why the design of language is also very, very kind of it's very simple. There's a simplicity in there. that kind of makes sense as you use it as you play around with it. So I think, and I also I haven't played around with Zig as much, so I really want to learn Zig. So at Plasmo, we just have a new initiative of learning new stuff every month or so, right? And then I think Stefan and I was discussing maybe we should learn Zig and also WASM, right? Might as well. And so this would achieve both. This will allow us to learn Zig and also compiling Zig into WASM and consuming in our Plasmo project. And this would basically enable a new kind of capability within extension, right? This will allow extension to have native speed, native performance. So this would enable a brand new way of building like actual browser capability actually, right? And not just relying on native bundle. Usually in the past to actually have native feature or native kind of a like native performance, you have to interacting with a native binary through native messaging, right? So that's the previous way of doing thing. But now with WASM, the browser can integrate in WASM and run it at the same, but at pretty much like native performance. So if this, if we can streamline this, then I think we could open like the door for much more capability of people thinking about new way to extend the browser, right? And so I think, and I think if Fastwell could do that, then we are ahead of our way to move there.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we're learning Zig, boy. Yeah, no, really excited about this. Yeah, if you're interested in like seeing what we're up to, you can hit this watch thing and see like all activity or whatever. But yeah, we'll be working kind of like in public with this repo, so that should be fun. And then I think we talked about this, right? So
Yep.
Awesome, cool. Any other updates? I think that should, right?
Yeah, that should be it for now. I think we have like basically I think we talk about roadmap. I think there'll be some upcoming stuff that we are going to work on. I think we need some prioritization. So maybe we should add the community voting for all the other issue and start voting, right?
Yeah,
To see what is, I think, to see what's most pressing, because to me, right, what's pressing actually make the tooling so I can do my stuff, Yeah, I mean, because we are a company, right? We're not just like, we're not doing volunteering stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. And then the other thing that we're thinking about is like with all of these things, right? Like if you want to help, like, I don't know, like let's say you really want to learn, like you're like us, right? You want to learn WebAssembly, you want to learn Zig, you want to learn all these other stuff. Maybe you want to like get good at like building auth systems, or maybe you really want to learn more about VS Code extensions. Like write down like in one of these issues, hey, I saw you guys stream. I saw that you guys are working on VS Code extensions. Would love to kind of help you guys out and like contribute. And yeah, let's build it together. So that's one of the things I would say as well. Is like on top of voting on stuff, you can also vote with your like I don't know. It's not feed. Like vote with your like actually build it out too, right? Like it's
vote with your action, right? Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, exactly. So say like, hey, I can do this. I'll have a PR in like a week or two. Yeah, that sounds great. Like we'll eventually get to everything, but it like there's gonna be an order to things. So if you can do stuff, let's say like we're gonna do the VS Code stuff in like a month or two, right? If you can do it in the next like 3 weeks, like do it. Why not? We'll review it and we'll help you if you have questions and stuff. But at the end of the day, this is also an with your action, I would say.
Yep. I mean, that's the whole point of open source, right? We open source it so people can jump in and do shit,
One other piece of thing I will add, I think is, so we currently have 4 translations. Thank you so much to everyone that contributed. We'll likely have like a little link here that says add a translation, just to encourage more people to do that. And then we'll think more about like how to encourage contributions more. But I think that's like one part of it. So if you have any suggestions anyone watching on like what can we do to kind of like help you out as like first time contributors, hit us up on Discord. We'd love to learn more about how we can help people get started with actually helping us out at Plasma, which should be awesome.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that was pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care.